warm welcome. This is the Coaching Hour. I'm Paul Rotherham. It's lovely to have you with us for this, another exciting edition. Feels like it's been a while for some reason. Nice to have my fellow colleagues and friends joining me in this session, where for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, we're going to be chatting about what I think is an incredible topic today. Mary and Mareka, hello to you both.
Hi, Paul. Nice to have you here.
Greetings. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I'm going to allow you, Mareka, to introduce our guest. And of course, this program, as always, is brought to you in proud partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. Today's topic, I think, Mareka, is going to speak to many people.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. Yes, today we have once again Busi Selesho, the money coach, and she's been a guest of ours before. In fact, her podcast previously had one of the most listeners that we ever had, so it was quite a good conversation, positive conversation. And once again, we are going to talk about a very important topic, and that's money. But this time we're going to talk about the psychology of saving, which I think is quite important for everybody to understand. But Busi, before we get into the topic, please just tell our listeners who is listening to or meeting you for the first time today, just tell us a little bit more about Busi and why are you specifically passionate about being a money coach?
Thank you so much, Mareka, and thank you so much for inviting me again. Paul and Mary, thank you so much for always being here. I am very excited to talk about this topic. This is I would say, a calling. At one point in my life, I found myself in a debt that changed my life forever because just of how huge it was, 40 million rands. And I was hardly grown up. I was on my late 29s, late 20s. And it was a time when I had hoped that I would have made so much progress because I was in business. I was trying to build a legacy, and all of a sudden I found myself in this big dish. And that was the time when I learned that what money was. And my coach at that time said to me, I don't have a problem with money. I have a problem with the relationship I have with money. And everything for me that had to do with money started then. And today I have developed a totally different relationship with money. I mean, most of the times, a lot of my clients come to me and say, oh, I've got debt of this much. I've got debt of a million rand. I've got debt of this. And I normally say to them, you know what, I had 40 million rand debt. Today, I don't have debt. And it feels like I will never be able to have debt again. Of course, I mean, I've learned really how not to be there. But also, I learned during that time how to raise money. And for you to raise money, there is a certain energy that you have to apply to raising money. Today, I raise hundreds of thousands of millions of my clients' capital in this and this and this. But that is, of course, how I raised 40 million rand. And I have learned that in us connecting with money, there's just more than us working hard and trying to save and trying to make it every day. There is something a little bit more than just what we have known all our lives.
Thank you, Busi. And if you say, you know, the energy of money, the relationship of money, how do we put that in perspective if someone is hearing this for the very first time?
So we all have probably been told that we need to work hard for money. And we probably have all worked hard. And we do not really know how hard can we work, because we are waking up every morning. Everybody in this country wakes up, we know, in the world wakes up every morning, and you have to go to some place where you're going to earn money, a job, a business, wherever. And you are working hard. I mean, there are people who are not trying to, you know, just show up and, you know, not much. And we all understand what that is about. But most of us normal human beings wake up every day and work hard. But then how hard are we supposed to work before we get to the money we know we deserve and we know we want? We are asking, you know, ourselves for it, the universe, whatever. Working hard has proven to be one of the things that is blocking us from receiving. Why? I mean, if you take somebody who works in the mine, who's working under the ground, who works 12 hours a day, who comes out and earn nothing, that person works hard, but why don't they have the money? So when we get over the fact that we need to work hard, it is the time when we can start to function from why we are here, which is normally our purpose, which works with our talents. The moment we understand why we are here, those things happen to us without us trying. Now, it doesn't matter how hard you work. Like, Marika, you're a coach. You can coach 100 people as long as there's daylight outside. You wouldn't really care. And of course, those people are paying you, but you don't even see that you're working. You wouldn't call it hard work. It's just amazing that you can help one person after the other and you're enjoying it and it comes naturally to you. So the moment we are in our purpose, in our calling, in the things that we were made to do, we stop the hard working. And of course, we open the flow of abundance. Now, abundance is not tons of money in the bank account or tons of money that the Lord drops in your stoop outside your door because, wow, you need it. Abundance is you being able to show up as fully the person you were supposed to be here. And at that point, everything that is of lack and suffering and needing and wanting stops. So that is the energy of money. Money connects to us when we are in our purpose. And your purpose could be just helping people. But then your talents are in IT, your talents are in accounting, your talents are in whatever else. But your purpose is here to help people. And your purpose could be anything that you have been here to serve. If you start to do that thing, the money will have to follow you. It has to follow you. There's no other way.
So this really is about finding your purpose more than it is discovering how to make money.
Absolutely. You can make money with anything. I mean, right now, my son is like 11 years and he's talking about robots that they are doing and this, and they're going to make money, and he's 11. And I'm thinking, what? And there are people that are making money at 11 years, which is like what, TikTok and stuff that doesn't make sense. So exactly. They are so happy doing it. They are so clued up on those screens. They are so functioning at their highest vibration. That's what money is.
Cool.
I was just going to say that the topic for the coaching hour for this edition is the psychology of saving. Now that suggests to me that somewhere along the line there's a mentality that goes with saving and storing those nuts for the winter, just like the animals do as they go into hibernation. And I can speak from personal experience to say that I always feel better and more comfortable and safer when I have money in the bank, when I have savings. I often refer to it as a safety net. It might not even be money in the bank in terms of cash. It might be possessions or valuables or jewelry or a car or a property or something that has value that if you hit hard times, you can let go of, that you could realize that value. What exactly is it that we are focusing on when you talk about the psychology of savings?
Okay, so one day I had a client that came to me and they said to me, a doctor, a medical doctor, they make an income of about more than 200K a month. And they were in so much debt. And you could think of in South Africa today, the average house, the average car, the average groceries in the most expensive shop here, it is not going to be an issue for somebody who earns 200K, more than 200K a month. So why would this client be in so much trouble? But then when we looked into their problem, we found out that they are always thinking that they do not have, which means that they, like you were saying, Paul, you don't have the safety net. You don't know where to fall to if anything goes wrong. So for them to always think that I don't have, they continually will find ways and means to make sure that they don't have, because there was nothing that they could see. And you know what? The simplest of things that we first started with, I said to her, from now on, when the medical aid is paying your money out, so there will be a date for that payment, I said to her, I need you to backdate that date. So let's say your salary comes into your bank account on the 30th. Ask your debtors to take the money on the 15th, that you have the whole 15 days with the money in your bank account, that you can see the money every day. When you go there, you can see the money, it's in your face the whole time. She did that. And all of a sudden, for that whole 15 days, she said, I have money, I have money, I have money. And that money was hers, but of course it was going to be taken by whoever on that 15th day. But for 15 days of full vibrational, knowing that you do have money, she started to be able to not spend all of the money. So she got the 15 days. And then when the first day of starting spending the money, she was like, no, man, I don't think I want to spend it. I want to see it there. And so she spent lesser and lesser and lesser, which meant that her savings grew. So our brain wants that good feeling thing. So the more people go and get debt, it's because they feel like every time I'm buying a bag, every time I'm buying shoes, every time I'm buying this, you are feeding a sort of a feeling that makes you feel good. But then you also get the same feeling when you actually do have money there. You want to see more of that money. So for the longest time you have the money, you then start to say, no, it feels good every day for me to look at it. I don't want to lose it anymore. Then you start to have the less need to take it out. And then you start to want to make more, which then you say, if I could save this much, maybe I could save a little bit more. Maybe I could save. All of a sudden, you push yourself without trying to save. I have to save, but you are working on that good feeling that you have been given by the universe the day you were born, of wanting to have good things happen to you. But in this case, because now you've experienced it and you now know you are capable, you can do it. So saving, first thing that I have seen about saving is that you need to start to enjoy that feeling and give it to yourself. Nobody's going to do it. Normally, the banks will ask you, what day do you get paid? They want to take the money on that day. Why do you think that is so? They know that if they let you have it a little bit more, you might not want to let it go. So they want you to tell them what is your pay date so that they can make sure you give it to them before you touch it. So first things, try to make sure that your payday and the day the money leaves your bank account, they are separate. You will see a big difference in how much in your spending habits. It's a psychological thing. Two, when you thinking of saving, normally a lot of people will say, I want to save this year maybe 1,000 rand a month or 10,000, depending on how much you can be able to do it. But then you find that at the end of the year, when you do have this lump sum, you go and you blow it away. You spend all of it at the same time. Now you have done the work. The whole entire year you have been saving. But here is the date, 31 December or whatever day that you said you were going to check your money in. Then you go and you take everything and you do not know exactly what happened to it. So now you have been saving, but then what did the saving job do? You did not benefit from this process. Now, if you are saving, do not save for the sake of saving. Do not say, I have savings, and the savings don't have a name. If the savings don't have a name, your fridge will break, your car tires will go, what, and you will find that money is doing that job. So you need to give that money that you're saving a name. You need to give it a purpose. Before you save it, it must have a purpose. Then that is how you will save it quicker, but also that is how it will not go to any other thing but this thing that you have said. So, there is also the term where we say it's our, emergency fund and that, and normally don't give your money such names, because then you're sending it to an emergency and nobody needs one. Of course, it will happen whenever it happens, but nobody needs to have an emergency. So give it, I normally will give that account a freedom account. I call it a freedom account. I'm free to have an emergency, but I'm not having one yet. So give it a name that makes you not want to create it in your head. But then now the money you are saving, know that, well, if it's for a holiday, then it's a holiday amount, it's okay. But if it's for something else, like you want to start maybe next year or in 6 months, a new, maybe a career or a new hobby, maybe you want to buy a camera, call it the camera money. Every month going there is the cameraman, is the cameraman. You are saving the cameraman. And if you're doing it like that, you might just find the camera before the money is there, which I've seen happen a lot of times. That's what savings do. They bring things to us quicker than we want. We would want, well, whatever we planned, the timing. So camera money, or big MPA. I want to do an MPA next day. MPA money. You will be shocked how much savings can bring you more without you trying. So those are the most important two things that I've seen around the psychology of money, that it's almost a miraculous thing, but our brains have that switch. If we just turn it on, it works.
Sure. I actually think of, sorry, Paul, I think of my wedding, for example, last year, and I did exactly that. You know, I saved money for the wedding, and I was able to save so much money that I couldn't believe how much money I could save. But this year, I could never after that get to that amount. So what you're saying makes actually sense. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask that this is all well and good for someone who does have the ability to save. I think we can't discount those, excuse the pun, those who really don't have the funds and who are battling to pay the monthly bills, never mind put something away. What sort of advice could you give to those people, Busi?
Okay. Of course, I will probably have started there, but of course, we started at somebody who does have an income, or someone who does have surplus. So if you do not have surplus and actually you have debts, and it's important to deal with your debts before you want to save, because we all know the interest rates are, if you're saving, you're gonna earn less. If you're paying a debt, it's going to take more from you. So you want to fix your debt first before you even think of saving. Okay, fine. So now let's just say we're talking about somebody who has worked on their debts, and their debts are now in good order. So of course, there's a different car debt. You just have to pay it month by month, because no matter how much more you put in there, they're not going to help you with, finishing it quickly. So you don't have to worry about that. It is what it is, unless you can be able to go and negotiate like a lump sum that you have money to pay, then it's fine. But also, credit card debt, you can pay more and then you save. Bond debt, it's all the debts. So we, of course, not talking about debts, but there is different debts that you want to tackle quickly. There's debts that you don't want to tackle quickly. And then there's debts also that you do not need to pay, which is another story for another day. We probably have a different talk on this another day, because a lot of people do not know enough about debt. And yeah, you could lose a lot of money in debt if you do not understand what it is. But let's just talk about that now. You do have you want to save, you have an income, you are not in that much debt that needs you to pay attention more to it. So how do you start saving if your money finishes at the end of the month, like exactly there's nothing left? Now, remember, saving is always been seen as a good thing, but also like a chore. So like, I know why I need to save. I know saving will help me, but then again, like, why can't I just have fun with my money? Like, I'm gonna die one day and leave it here. And I've heard somebody say that. Why should I save it? So if you are having no other amount to save, that is meaning that at this current moment, you are not functioning at your highest potential. There is absolutely no way that you can just earn an amount that pays your bills, which is your food, your water, your shelter, and your car, and there's nothing else that is you can make. You could have 7 income streams, 8, 12, 15, 17 as one person. And if you are having money that's just enough for you to take care of you being alive, then something is very, very wrong. You should question yourself. What is wrong with me? Why can't I be able to make more money? That is the question that is going to trigger a whole entire journey for you, where you find how to make another income stream. So this income stream is fine. It's taking care of you in terms of making sure everything is covered for your living. But then you need now to start an income stream just basically just to have fun with the whole saving thing. And you are able. Nobody works 24 hours a day. Even if you're working 24 hours a day, we all have an extra 2 hours somewhere. It's either you have to give up on TV, you either have to give up on something, and you do have more potential in you. So if you find yourself, you don't have savings, you can only make money that takes care of you on a daily day-to-day basis. There's something wrong. You need to level up. It's your level up moment. You need to challenge yourself to say, nah, I cannot just be able to make only this. And I can promise you, the day you ask the question, now a lot of time kids, I've got kids, and when they want something, they always find something to make money. Once there's something and I say, oh, no, I'm not paying for that. Oh, they're on it. They come back and they're like, no, we found a way to make money. Because they always just ask, how can I make the money? And then they find the idea and then they make it. If I said I would pay for it, of course, they chill and not worry about it. So we also have that in us. So, but we are not using it. So once you notice that you are not making enough than what you should be making, which is you have savings, now it's the time to make sure that it's to introduce a new income stream. And I'm not talking about anything amazing. I'm just talking about using your talents and your skills to do whatever else. Yeah.
Oh, that's very valuable. It actually gives a whole different mindset of, trying to make do with what you have instead of thinking, how can I make more money? There is so many other ways of making money. We just don't sit and think about it.
Mm.
So this is what I'm hearing, is that it's a psychological shift about money. So when you think you don't have money, then you won't have money. But when you think I have money, and like you said, Busi, you must see the money in your account. And the more you see it in your account, the more feeling you change, which changes the psychology of how you think about money. You know what I do? I put money in my wallet, but I make sure that there's a lot of notes. Then I put 200 rand in my cubby hole. Then I've got another wallet in my boot, and I put some 200 rand in there. So every time I open my wallet, I see money. When I open my cubby hole, I see money. So you have to like what I'm hearing from you is do that, isn't it? To gear yourself to see abundance.
Absolutely. The more you see it, the more your brain, remember, your brain doesn't know really what's going on. Your brain takes the information it sees and it translates it to your subconscious. So if you see money, your brain says she has money, she definitely has money, so she has money. Now, if you have money, then you should have more, because that's what you are. But if you don't have, she doesn't have money, she doesn't have money. Remember, that is what you're creating. She doesn't have money. I don't have money. I don't have money. I have money. I have money. It is, the brain is so stupid and so amazing at the same time.
I've cottoned onto a great idea here, ladies, for making a fortune. I am going to design wallpaper that is just a picture of banknotes. I'm going to make a fortune. Imagine in your bedroom, in your lounge, in your dining room, you can have this beautiful wallpaper with the leopard and the lion and the elephant. And what's the big one? The 200, the leopard, eh?
Probably.
I don't see them very often. So
you'll find that, please plug me in. I need those also. I definitely do. Wow, yes.
we'll put a company together, Busi.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, Paul. You can even make towels, face cloths.
Yeah. So you're just surrounded by money.
Tablecloth.
Yeah.
We'll do everything except toilet paper.
No, you can do toilet paper. There is somebody that does toilet paper with creative art.
Gee whiz, what a waste.
Imagine wiping your... Never mind.
No, keep it clean, Mary.
Yeah, no, I mean, Paul, when we're doing the chakra work and all of those things, the two colors for money, it's red and it's green. See, I'm wearing my money t-shirt. So, so, and at some point I bought red couches for my lounge, just because I was serious about my root chakra, because I could feel that, no, man, I wasn't holding on to things I wanted to hold on to. So I made sure that my couches are red, and I promise you, I saw a big difference in terms of how I was handling money. So and again, you just keep seeing the red. You just keep seeing the red because the red is all about your passion, driving the things that makes you want to do stuff. You sit on those couches, you don't want to sleep, you don't want to eat crappy food. You just be like, oh, did I go to the gym already? So they did work. And then of course I've got like greenish color, like nice greenish for my kittens. And of course, green plants and all of those. So yeah, definitely. I mean, having wallpaper money would do it.
So, Busi, what final thoughts do you have for our listeners on the psychology of saving today?
Yeah, I think saving is not as hard as we think it is if you make it a fun game. Once, of course, it's fun, it's gonna feel good. Remember, all the time you have to bring in the food, feel good. That's why people drink alcohol. That's why they're just trying to get some good feeling in. So if you can make money or alcohol, then definitely I choose money. So if you do not think of saving as a chore, as something you can't do, as something that is you can't ever get to touch, make it a fun game. Play with yourself. Your brain doesn't know what is real. So give it that game. Give it a game. I mean, even just trying to, be on a diet. If you make it a game, all these things that we think are so hard, if you make it be a game, you're totally out of the frustration mode, frustration vibration, the resistance vibration. Once you get yourself out of the resistance vibration, life follows. It's like you go into a river stream that's going down. If you take a canoe and you're trying to go upstream, it's gonna be so hard. You put it downstream, you don't have to do anything, you just chill and it goes by itself. So savings, again, you just have to tweak your mind. Of course, do everything mind, everything. I mean, I give ayahuasca ceremonies just because the mind, I'm fascinated by the mind stuff. So I know that the mind, you can trick it to do whatever. So let's trick our minds to get us where we want to go, because savings is not an issue. You just have to find a way to get yourself to do it. Don't try the hard way. Don't try I'm going to just do it because I have to. Then it's not in. But make it fun, make it easy, then you'll be fine.
Awesome. Busi, thank you very, very much for sharing your thoughts with us on this, the psychology of saving. I hope that it has encouraged you as you're listening or watching this podcast here on the Coaching Hour to, I think, firstly, just think about money a little differently, because so much of what we experience in this world, I think, all stems from what's in our head. That's really where it all starts. So thank you for your insights, Busi.
So much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. Really, really had a lovely time.
And Marika, Mary, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we will share the links to the content and to our guests. The links will be shared in the description for all of our recordings. That concludes this edition of the Coaching Hour podcast, and we look forward to your company in the next one. Cheers for now.